Okay, today we are playing a game on Nepal. The average SR of this game is 1,723, and we will be playing Mei mostly the entire way through. We do a little bit of switching around on the third round, but we basically are just playing Mei for this replay. Our current team composition is Roadhog, Zarya, Reaper, Junkrat, Mei, and Mercy. So, we don't have a second healer. It's not the end of the world, because the only healer we do have is Mercy, which is the important part. We also don't have, like, a main tank, but our front line is Roadhog, Zarya, Reaper, Mei. It's good enough. Also, this is Silver SR, so team comp matters approximately 0% here, because most people in Silver do not know how to play their hero correctly anyway, so the team comp doesn't function as it's supposed to anyway. So it doesn't matter if you have, like, the ideal team comp, because people don't know how to play their heroes. So let's just start the replay. So, we use the wall here to skip a little bit of time getting over to the point. I'm not really a fan because it doesn't actually save you any time, but now the wall is on cooldown as you're reaching the point. And that can be the difference, like, the 1 or 2 seconds that it's on cooldown can be the difference between you walling somebody off who's out of position and not walling someone. Well, not even out of position. It just could be the difference between you walling somebody off and not being able to wall somebody off. So they have lost 2 people immediately, and one of them was their Reinhardt, so they're basically boned. Now Far is dead, so they're 3v6, then Mei, then Diva's dead. Names are hard. English language, you know how it is. So yeah, they lost 2 people really quickly, which basically means they lose the fight, and that's just kinda how it is. So, their team is rather annoying to play Mei against because they have a Pharah and a Tracer on it. Don't, like, run after Tracer because, assuming equal skill, the Tracer wins this matchup, like, 9 times out of 10. The only way you kill a Tracer as Mei is if you get a lucky headshot with your right-click, basically. Like, it's not feasible, but she does also, at the same time, you are one of those heroes that makes Tracer play a little bit more passively. Because, like Winston, it's not that hard to hit Tracer with the left click, and then she's like, I don't really want to get frozen, you know? So, they do have a Diva, as well, who is a good hero to try and bully as Mei, because you can freeze Diva, which is not the end of the world, if it's just you by yourself, but then Diva can't really do anything. Not really any reason to use the wall like this, because Tracer is making no effort to come up the staircase, and even if she was, it would be better to wait until she was up here, so that you can wall her off onto the point and try to kill her, because then she would not be able to disengage without using recall. Not really any reason to wall her off right there. So here comes Reinhardt, we drop really low, so we're going to use our shift. Mercy has just died, and that is our only healer, so that's very bad for us, but at the same time, they're not exactly executing this fight super well, you know? Like, they're kind of coming at us 1 or 2 at a time from multiple angles, so they're just kind of getting killed. Which is usually how it goes in Silver. Team doesn't want to regroup. This is how it goes. Like, the team that loses the first team fight usually loses the rest of the round, because that team then just never actually regroups. They just continually stagger themselves for the rest of the game. We will see some of that later. So, we're trying to get this Tracer. We miss her, but she doesn't recall, even though she actually unfreezes. So, we're at 80% right now, and we've got Blizzard. Blizzard's a fantastic ultimate, so frankly, I'd be like, yeah, we've probably won this round at this point. And then Reinhardt dying like that does them no favors. So, don't do that as Mei, because that does nothing, walling them off like that. If anything, it might just help them regroup, because the people behind that wall can't advance in by themselves now. The idea when playing Mei is not that you're just trying to wall them off to inconvenience them. The idea is you want to wall somebody off to kill them, right? So, it's better to do something like wait for them to start pushing through and then, like, wall off one person as they come through the gateway, and then that person dies because they can't disengage. You know, like, we've all played that game on, like, Hanamura, where we're trying to walk through the doorway, and then there's a Mei on the other side of the door that just keeps walling you off as soon as you walk through the doorway. That's the idea. You don't want to just wall people off like that, because that ultimately doesn't do anything, right? it's just like a couple of seconds of inconvenience. Whereas if you wall to cut somebody off and then kill them, well, that's like 15, 20 seconds of inconvenience as opposed to a couple of seconds of inconvenience. So we were having some trouble with shadow play during this replay, which is why this is currently happening. So we missed the first little bit of this round. There we go. We're arriving a little bit late, probably because we were dealing with that, but now we're here. So our team is already like winning the fight when we arrive, but then right as we arrive, we lose Mercy, and now we've lost Junkrat. So we've lost this fight because we've lost our own healer. Usually if you're down 2 people relative to the enemy team, you have lost the fight, but one of those people also happens to be our only healer, so we have definitely lost this fight. We should not even be continuing to try and fight right now, we should be leaving the area. Because we've lost this fight, and we continue to fight even though now we're actually the only one over here. Like, we've seen everybody else die in the kill feed at this point, and we were still, like, hanging around. If you're down 2 people, start leaving. Like, play passively, just retreat back to your spawn. Don't keep fighting, because that's how the stagger begins, right? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Like, if your team is staggering all around you, you have to wait, because if you don't wait, you just make the problem even worse. And that's like the biggest issue in, like, Gold and below, is that people just don't want to regroup and they continue to stagger for the rest of the game. Just like, if you're down 2 people, like, start retreating, play passively. So right here, we could have saved this Mercy because our wall is off cooldown when this man is coming towards us. He is on a collision course with the Mercy. We should stop this from happening because we don't want Mercy to die. And Mercy does in fact die. If you're super ultra mega greedy, you could wait until Reinhardt's past the staircase and then wall him off on this side of the team, but you don't want Mercy to die. Like, just wall the Reinhardt off. There's no reason she had to die. So we are still continuing to fight right now. We should not still be continuing to fight. We even ping that we want to attack the objective. No, we shouldn't be doing this. Our only healer is dead right now. We cannot feasibly win this fight because their Mercy is still alive, so they're going to win the fight. And all that's going to happen is we're going to stagger and the team is going to get more staggered, and like, because now we still shouldn't be fighting, right? Like, our team is still regrouping, and we're still fighting. We should not still be fighting. And we are, like, about to die. This is the worst time to die. Like, we have mega super staggered ourselves, because right as our team is reinforcing behind us, we die. Now, your team, realistically, you need 6 people to win a fight, right? So, now, because they are 5v6, as you die, they get back here. They now have to wait for you to get back. They won't wait, because we're in silver, right? They won't wait, but they should wait. They have to wait for you to get back to actually do anything. This is the worst possible time to die, because it wastes the maximum amount of time possible, because now you have to go through the full respawn, walk all the way back. You're playing Mei, you're not a fast hero. It just wastes as much time as possible. Not counting the fact they're also going to stagger themselves because you're in Silver SR. So, like, it's bad. Not good. If you're down, like, a couple people, it's not gonna work. If you're missing your healer and they still have their healer, you are probably going to lose the fight. Overwatch is basically that simple, where it's like, fighting 5v6 is already hard. Fighting 4v6, just not feasible. And if you're then missing your healer, that's even worse. So, Reaper's currently dead, right as we're reinforcing outside. Again, you know, just like the worst possible time to stagger. Now Roadhog's dead, we should no longer be this far up, because our team is dead. And we're fighting also while we're low HP, and we're just super greedy, and we, like, don't use our shift to heal, we don't go and get a health kit, we don't do anything. We shouldn't be this far up in general, because Reaper and Roadhog are dead, so we're down 2 people relative to the enemy team again. It's just not realistic that we're gonna win the fight. Then we just play super greedy as well and don't heal up, so we're even easier to kill and get picked off. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of staggering happen, because right as we get back, people are already dead. Oh no. And now, like, we don't actually really have time to wait anymore, so we just have to come on and try and fight. a lot of staggering happened this round. Now we're just really greedy, and we, like, don't want to use our shift, even though we were low HP. The bomb didn't actually kill us. Mercy killed us. Like, we're just greedy and don't use the shift. This is the, like, look at what we did in the chat. Spammed the shit out of group up with me, but, like, we staggered ourselves as well, which only made the point even worse, right? And then we get a little bit tilted in this game. We did this, though. We're part of the problem because we did this. And, you know, we're pretty tilted. We're tilted at this point. Like, we are part of the problem. Like, we staggered ourselves as well. So now we do some switching. I think we change the Farah out right now? Or do we, like, have one fight and then change to Farah? No, we play a bit of Mercy. Mercy of May. I was reading the words, and then, you know. So we changed Farah and Moira in this round. So I couldn't remember the exact order of events it occurs in. As you can see, though, by the timer left, doesn't go super well. So this is the bad way to go, because, like, you're in silver, so, like, your teams aren't going to do this, but I'm going to tell you what you should do on this map anyway, right? You want to go up the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, depending on, like, you want to go up the ramp at the start, depending on, you know, left or right, depending on which side you're on, because you want to get control of this area. Even if you don't get control of it yourself, you don't want them to have control of it, because the high ground is really fucking overpowered. Just broadly speaking, the high ground is really fucking overpowered. And, like, even if your team doesn't benefit from controlling the high ground, you should still go up this way, because you don't want the enemy team to have control of the high ground. Because then they sit up there, and they shoot down at you on the point, and there's not that much you can do to stop them. So, you always want to go up the side. I fucking hate Village, because people always do this, where they just fight out in the courtyard area at the front. No, like, you go up the ramp, always. Getting control of high ground is great. Bare minimum, you don't want them to have control of the high ground. Your teams will not go, like, fucking people in Masters and Diamond don't want to go up there with me. They won't go up there with you, but you want to go up there. So, we are trying to get this Farah, but we're playing May, so it's not very realistic. Again, we're greedy, and we don't use the shift, even though we're low HP. We try to use the wall, and then we end up dying. There's a Farah there, so it's just generally sad. We change to Farah, and then we kind of mess up the concussive blast to get out here faster. So, Farah's not that great against their team comp. If we're gonna go with the DPS, McCree would probably be better, because we do need to actually, like, kill the Farah. And, like, you cannot rely on your friend Soldier here to kill Farah, because he won't, right? Like, and it's also, like, no wait, we have a Mercy, don't we? I was gonna say it's kind of sad to play Farah without a Mercy, but we have Mercy on our team. She's off here somewhere. So again, we're trying to fight, while we're missing people on our team, which is just not a great idea, because we do, oh no, we have Anna now. We don't have Mercy anymore. Okay. I was like, I don't remember us having a Mercy during this round, but no, the round definitely started with a Mercy. God damn. Professionalism. As you can see, I take meticulous notes of these things before starting out. So, we are missing 2 people right now, and we try to get the Mercy. We don't quite kill her before she reses. If we killed her before she got the res off, this might not be the worst fight in the world, but especially that feels really good, right? Like, that felt fantastic. But again, we're fighting while our team isn't actually here. Like, again, part of the problem ourselves right now, because we're fighting when we aren't mad optimistic. Wouldn't go for that one. Like, we should not really be over here fighting right now, because we are missing people still. Like, we get those 2 people, so that feels really good, but, like, our team is not here with us right now, and we're continuing to fight, even though our entire team isn't here with us right now. And then they get here, right as we're dying, and we get tilted. Even more so. Like, we went in way early, and, we lost a couple people right at the start of the fight, kept fighting. Like, it went better than expected, because we managed to get 2 picks on those people right there. But then their Mercy just used Valkyrie, which just means it didn't really happen at all, because Mercy's kind of that way. Like, again, we're part of the problem here. Like, we keep fighting when we aren't really meant to be fighting. Like, right here, our team, not actually here right now, our team mostly dead. Then we arrive, and we get killed as well. And we're, you know, we think about saying, why the fuck? But then we think that might be a little bit too aggressive. And we go, why are you not soldier? He's not gonna kill him, right? Like, he's not gonna kill him. You know, he's in silver. He doesn't know how to shoot. If you think Farah's the problem, you're gonna have to try and deal with the Farah, because you're in silver. Even if he's playing soldier, he won't kill the Farah. Because it's actually hard to kill Farah anyway, especially when there's a Mercy on the enemy team as well. So, like, he's not gonna do it. There's no point being tilted at him about it, like, because he won't do it. Even if he's soldier, you'll just be tilted because he isn't killing the Farah anyway. So as you can see, we changed to Moira, but it doesn't go super well. There are not very many people on our team here. And right as they're arriving, we die. So the trickling continues. The trickling and stagger started on Sanctum, and it has yet to end. I think we might still be staggered to this very day, in fact. Even though this replay is like a week old at this point. Nice desktop background. Like, I think we might still be staggered to this day. So, the thing that stands out the most in this game is, just generally we don't use our, wall super well as Mei. Like, we don't really use it to try and, cut people off and kill them. Which is the thing that, Mei really has going for her, is that she can see the enemy team coming, cut them off, and then kill one person. Or, if you just cut off, like, 2 people, that's, like, good enough, right? They still die because they're on the wrong side of the wall. Whereas we do the traditional Mei thing of just, like, walling them off for the sake of it. We aren't really, like, thinking about why we're using our wall. The point is to wall people off and kill them. Or, like, the Reinhardt charge, you can wall people off to save them as well, but, we didn't do that. We let the Mercy get pinned. But the really big thing, though, is just that, goddamn, do we not respect the fact that we're missing a lot of our teammates right now and we keep fighting. Like, your team is gonna stagger because you're in silver, but, like, you then staggering yourself just makes the problem worse. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Like, if your team is down 2 people, you're not gonna, like, relative to the enemy team, like, if they're 6, you're 4, if you're 3 and they're 5, you know, something like that, you are probably not gonna win the fight. Sometimes it happens, but it's really not realistic that you're gonna win the fight. As soon as you're down 2 people, just, like, play passively, retreat, wait for your team to actually group up again, try to get them to group up with you. Don't just spam group up with me and then keep fighting. Like, you have to play passively until your team gets back, because otherwise you die and become part of the problem, and then the cycle begins anew. And that you have to, like, nobody wants to. You don't want to sit back and wait for your team, but you have to. That's that. And if you're down, if you've got 1 healer, even if you're down 1 person, right? If you're down your healer, you're not gonna win the fight. Like, it's not reasonable to expect to win a fight when you're missing your healer. If they're also missing their healer, maybe it works, you know, because then you're kind of both equally hobbled. But if you're missing your healer and they're not missing their healer, you're gonna lose the fight, because you just don't have any staying power at that point. So the moral of the story is, don't stagger. Play passively when you are at a numbers disadvantage until you are no longer at a numbers disadvantage. Fuck, if you're playing Mei, you can wall your own team off to try and get them to regroup, right? You can go up into the choke point and be like, no, stop going forward. And then give your, they'll hate you, right? They'll think you're trolling, but you're, no, like, what, stay. There's like 3 people going forward to try and kill themselves on 6 people, right? Like, you gotta try and get you, like, they will hate you for that one, right? Like, if they're trying to, like, if you see, like, your fucking soldier and Mercy trying to go through the choke point to fight 2v6, wall them off. Don't let them go forward and kill themselves, because they will kill themselves. Like, you gotta just play passively when you're at a numbers disadvantage. It's just how it is. Don't stagger yourself, because we do a lot of staggering ourselves. We're still staggered to this day. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.